can we just talk about what just happened to me just now? Um, all right, so I had to go to CVS because I was on my last two tampons, and any girl out there knows that that is a tragedy. And I don't like buying tampons. Okay, it's awkward for me. I don't like buying tampons, and I don't like buying toilet paper. I just don't. Okay, I'm human. Okay, I just don't like doing it. It's awkward for me. I mean, it would be different if I was going into CVS and I bought a whole bunch of stuff, and tampons just happened to be included. But no, I was just going in there for the sole purpose of buying tampons, which was just, awkward for me. I thought about buying like gum or like, Tic Tacs or something with them so that it wasn't my only purchase of the day. But then I thought that people would be judging me, like trying to figure out why I needed like gum and like tampons, like how they tie together. Like a Tic Tac and a Tam. You know what I mean? Like I just thought that was awkward. So I'm in the car before I walk in there. I'm trying to like pump myself up, like I'm just trying to, like give myself a quick little, self-esteem boost, a little pep, like it's before a big game or something. I'm like, come on, Liz, you can do this. You just gotta go in there. You just gotta go in there and you just gotta take one for the team. You can totally, my team being my ovaries, by the way, they work as a team. So I'm just trying to, just pump myself up and get myself in there. And so I was like, Liz, you can do this. But the only thing that I wanted, the only thing that I hoped for was that there wasn't a boy at the register, because that's just weird. Why make things worse than they need to be, So I'm in my car and I'm like, please don't be a boy. Please don't be a boy. Please don't be a boy. I walk in there. Guess what? It's two boys. Yeah, two of them. Two boys. Dos Chicos. Two of them. And okay, great. Just what I need. Just what I need. I need all these boys in here to know that I'm on my period. Great. Here we go. So I walk in there, and guess what? They were kind of young. Yeah, kind of young. And you know what? A little cute. A little, kind of. Maybe, not really. So I walk back to the tampon aisle, holding my breath, hoping that I don't see anybody I know, because then that would be extra weird, So I walk down the tampon aisle, and I'm so glad that I was not alone in this moment. There was an old lady, I'm guessing somewhere in her, early to mid thousands, buying Depends, 2 bags of them. So, I was very comforted to know that at that moment that was my company. I'm glad that we were on the same level. So I get my tampons. I walk up to the front. There's kind of a line, so I'm standing in line. I know everyone that's standing in line next to me is giving me the judge eye, like looking at me, because everyone just knows now. Because I'm not buying anything else, I just have one box of tampons in my hand. So everyone's looking at me. I'm trying to decide, before I get up there and decide which lane I'm going to choose, I try to think about which boy is going to be the most understanding. It's just a whole process for me, so I'm standing there, I'm just standing there alone, just alone. I felt like I was alone in the world, like I could write a book, something called like Alone with the Bleeding Box, something just deep like that. Oprah, let me know if you want to let me be a part of your book club. I can crank that bad boy out in like half a year or something. It's a memoir. It is full of personal feelings and reflection, and I don't know. I feel every woman can benefit from my story. Anyways, I'm just getting the death stare from everyone. Everyone's judging me. And so you get up to the counter, and I put my tampons on the counter, and I look at this boy, and he looks at the tampons, and then he looks at you, and it's just awkward because he knows. He knows that you're, bleeding from your peach right now, and he knows that, he knows what the tampons are for. He knows what you're going to do with them later. It's just weird. He just knows. It's like he doesn't want to touch you. I felt like I should have been quarantined. Might as well just, alienate me. Don't let me in the CVS club when I'm, on my period. It just wasn't great, And so then everyone else in line knows that I'm on my period. I just think it's comforting to know that half of Indianapolis now knows, I feel like people are going to see this and all of a sudden our cycles are going to sync. It's a huge ordeal. Okay. So I put him on the counter, and he like looks around for a little bit, and he's like looking around the counter or something, and he's like, "Is that all for you?" And I'm like, well, you can throw in some chocolate if you want, trying to make a joke, because when I get nervous, I make jokes, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But so I was like, we can throw in some chocolate if you want. And he laughed a little, and I laughed a little. So I felt like that made it like a little tiny bit less awkward because now we're on that friend level. So he was like looking around the counter like this and pretending like I don't know, like he was looking for something, and he made this weird face like that or something. And I'm like, what? What? Is my box defective? What? Really? Really? Can we just do this? What? I don't get it. I was nervous that he was gonna go, price check on tampons. I need a price check ASAP on the Tampons tampons price check. I was just great. Let the whole store know. Why don't we just put it on the news? Wish TV, tonight's top story. You heard it here first. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. And then I'd be absolutely humiliated if the whole store knew. I'd probably pee. Then my only friend in this world would be Grandma Wets Her Pants. That would be the only person I could get to hang with me on a Friday, and she's like almost dead, so that wouldn't be any fun. Anyways, I'm just tired. I'm hungry. I have cramps. I just want to go home. I'm emotional. I cried at Extreme House Makeover yesterday, day before. I'm not gonna lie, it was about Down syndrome kids, okay? It was touching. Anyways, I just want to go, and so he goes, I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. So he walks out from behind the counter and walks to the back of the store. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what's going on here? Seriously? Come on. Can we just do this? But I just don't need any more attention drawn to me. The whole world knows. I just don't need anything else. So he comes back and he puts my tampons in the bag. And then he also throws a Hershey bar in there. And I'm like, and he goes, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, do I need to, pay for that? And he's like, no, you're fine, you're fine. Well, at this moment, I'm panicking because the last thing I need is for me to walk through those two things and have the rent-a-cop, come over and have, like, when it beeps, have the rent-a-cop come over and search my bag, and go through my tampon box to see what I stole. I don't need a police record. I don't need jail time. I wouldn't survive in prison. How would I explain that to my mother? Can you imagine how disappointed she would be? Anyways, I was like, well, do I need to, pay for that? And he goes, oh, no, I paid for it back there. Don't worry about it. And I said, well, thank you. And he goes, oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. I think it's because I did my hair today. I think that's why. But there are some nice people out there. He totally bought me a Hershey bar. What a nice boy. I picked the right lane. I picked the right one. 24-hour CVS on Keystone, I'm going to go there all the time because I like what you do. I like the people you got there. You're making girls happy all around the world. And by all around the world, I probably just mean me, but you know what? That's enough. That is enough. I'm just so happy. Moral of the story, if you do your hair and you're funny, CVS will take care of you. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I think that's all. What? So I said, before I left, I go, same time next month? And he laughed, and then everyone else in the store laughed because everyone knows that I'm on my period now. And now everyone all over the world knows that I'm on my period right now because I'm broadcasting it to everybody. I'm gonna go get that Hershey bar. I deserve it. And I'm not too sure why my camera is doing this. Like, I'm at a haunted house or something.